Alright, we're going to test this out for a minute. Doesn't sound like there's any music playing. Hey, Braz. How are you? Man, you guys were in here quick. Hey, Berserked. Alright, we're going to test this out for a minute. Music playing. Tell Patty I said hello back. Man, you guys were in here quick. You guys hear any music by any chance? Is there any music playing, or is it just my voice? I'll be getting started in just a second, guys. I'm just trying to get this thing up and running. You guys hear any music by any chance? Is there any music playing, or is it just my voice? I'll be getting started in just a second, guys. I'm just trying to get this thing up and running. Okay. Thanks, Braz. I was going to stream yesterday, um, but we was having so much problems with the internet, and it dropped for several hours at one point, and I just wasn't going to even try yesterday because I felt like it was probably just going to keep uh, ending the broadcast every few minutes, and I just didn't want to go through all that and aggravate you guys. Is the camera still stuck, Braz, or did it? Yeah, it looks like it's still frozen on. I'm not sure what's going on. It's working on this end. Okay, guys, give me a second. Like I said, we've been having issues. It's also not helping that I've got one in there playing online at the same time I'm streaming, so I'm sure the bandwidth is probably not the best at the moment. So let's see if I can compensate somehow, and then we can get back to the drawing stuff, which I think you guys will be a lot more interested in seeing and then listening to me talk about technical issues. So give me a second. We'll try to fix one problem at a time. If I have to, I will just restart this program, um, which is what I had to do the last time to get the camera working. Um, so let's see if we can at least get the music going. Hey, what's up, Crimson? Sorry about yesterday. I don't know if you heard what I was just explaining to everyone. Um, our internet was like crap yesterday. Um, I lost the internet for a good, I'm going to say about 4 hours. It completely dropped. And before that, we kept getting those little short drops, like it would just drop for like a second, long enough to reset my router and modem, and it was just causing so many issues. I don't know if it's the weather. I don't really know. I don't really know what was causing it, but yesterday was a really bad day for us here with our internet, and I just, like I was explaining, I really didn't want to have to keep restarting, and because that's aggravating, and I didn't want to do that to you guys. So I figured, what the heck, it's given such a problem, and then it dropped for over about 4 hours, just over 4 hours. Um, I use I hate using the city. The city has a monopoly on the internet here, but there is another company. It's a family-owned business, and they actually have a little bit better speeds, and they're just a little cheaper, by about like $10 cheaper. And if I can save $10 and get faster speeds, I'm going to do it. Plus, I'm not having to pay the city that I live in, because that's a whole nother ball of mess. Um, but it's a private company. It's a family-owned business, and but believe it or not, it's worse on the city because most people use the city, and so it was horrible on when we were using them before I switched over. Right now, I'm assuming that my cam is frozen. Now, on my end, it's not frozen, but I think it is in the stream for some reason. Why it's frozen in the stream and not on XSplit is beyond my technical knowledge, because it looks like it's working, but for some reason it's frozen in the stream. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. Matter of fact, I just got a black screen, looks like. Looks like it's not sticking anymore. Overall, though, is everything okay? I mean, I mean, it keeps telling me that I'm getting frame drops, but I just checked it and it looks like the cam's working. in stream. All right, I'm gonna get the music. Same thing here, Braz. I think it was frozen on my end too. All right, well, let's get some music. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna load up. I'm gonna load up this Twitch approved music on Spotify, so we can at least have some kind of background music, so you guys don't hear every little breath I take. It's kind of a song, isn't it? Every move I make, every breath I take. And every time I take a drink, you guys don't want to hear me gulping. That's not attractive. Welcome back, guys. By the way, Crimson, I saw you was in the chat yesterday, man. Checking to see if I was streaming. When I logged back on, I noticed you were in there. So thank you for coming back yesterday. And believe me, I was trying to stream yesterday, but it just wasn't happening. Wasn't happening. Come on, Skype. I mean, not Skype. What am I saying Skype for? Spotify. Alright, let's search for Twitch. FM. Oh, it's moving so slow. We'll get this going. Alright, let me know if that's too loud, too low. You get bored at work? Well, I appreciate it that I'm on your list of streams to check. So I appreciate that, man. I really do. Let me get some air in here, man. There's no air movement at all. It gets hot sitting in front of this monitor and this light right beside me. And hopefully the stream is back up and normal. Got a little music playing, the cam's working. Hopefully the stream is not dropping every minute. And we can start rocking and rolling. Still no music? Well, maybe because I just started it, you guys haven't heard it yet. So, you hear music, but it's not loud. Okay, let me see. How's that? Too loud? Not loud enough? I have to be careful turning that up sometimes, because just turning it up a little bit on this end is like really loud on your end. Okay, so it's not overpowering. Um, my voice is not drowning me out or anything like that. Okay, sweet. Thanks, guys. Alright, well, here's what we got. I did not finish this. I did the layouts. I was going to finish this yesterday. Um, but once I got the layouts done, and then I started having trouble with the internet, I just decided that I was going to wait till today and try it again and stream and let you guys see it. So I didn't actually finish it yesterday. I did do some stuff, as you can see. I've started spotting some of my blacks and got everything pretty much laid out. Um, but all the little final details and things I left out and stuff, because I figured I'd share that with you guys today. Um, but this is what I was going to stream yesterday, so I basically just held off. Like I said, I've already gotten um, a lot of pages done this week already, so just waiting another day to finish this one is not going to hurt me. But if you guys remember, the page before this is where she was sinking in the water, and then she was coming to and being kind of reborn, and then she was swimming up towards the top to get out of the water, and this is the next scene. And you'll notice this is actually in frames. Um, Thanks for letting me know, guys. But this, anything in the frames, if you see these 3 frames, this is what I was explaining before. It's like a widescreen movie. Anything that's in a frame like this, it's boxed. That's present day. And I decided to do present day in the boxes and do her flashback sequences without frames, to give it that sense of where everything's just kind of blending together like a dream does. Things just kind of mesh together. They don't really make a lot of. Sometimes they just don't make a lot of sense, and dreams just kind of do their own thing. Um, in comics, panels equals pausing, so it's usually a shift in scenery, and it's like a mental break that tells you that something else is getting ready to happen. So I didn't want to use that technique in the flashback sequences. So I took the borders out, took all the frames out, and I just kind of ran. I just was just trying to run all the art together and make it one piece of art, but still tell a story. Now that we're back in present day for a couple of pages, you're going to see these frames, and it's more traditional in that way. But I'm doing it every page that has the panels is only going to have 3 panels, so it's not flooded with a bunch of panels. There's not going to be 6 or 7 panels. That way this gives more of a movie feel and less of a comic book feel, because movies are shot widescreen, so these panels are designed widescreen, so it should look more like a movie shot rather than a comic book frame, because comic book frames are all different sizes. And so that was the idea anyway. Now it kind of gets you guys up to speed on the logic behind that. Alright, so she's just now waking up from basically being in a coma for a while, from being crucified on that tree at the very beginning of the book. And it's not very pretty up close because we haven't gotten all the details, but guess what? It's time to get to work, people. And I really appreciate you guys coming back out today, because like I said, after yesterday, I was kind of worried that you guys might be upset with me. But if I'm not streaming, believe me, it's only because I can't. It's not because I don't want to. So if for some reason I say, hey, I'm going to stream tomorrow, and then I'm not able to, then It'll be for a good reason, trust me, because otherwise I'll be streaming it. I wanna do this with you guys. We're gonna pretty much try to do this together every step of the way. Thanks, Crimson. I appreciate it, bud. Yeah, life does happen, man. Ah, Brazix, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Um, I do. I go in a lot of other chats and stuff, and I have a good time. I like to cut up with people and try to make people laugh and stuff because man, life's too short. And with my mom being really sick and things like that, it just kind of puts things in perspective. So I try to I try to live each day, um, trying to be friendly with my with people and things. There's enough trolls in the world. Trolls are going to do their thing. Not every stream has to be. It's like Facebook. I tell people on Facebook all the time, don't don't post your family drama and things like that on there, and start rumors and things on there because it's not good for anybody. In the end, it's not serving you any purpose either. You're just getting upset and stuff, and taking Facebook and posting it as your status. In all honesty, a lot of people just um, take that and troll on you for it. But sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes people just aggravate you so bad. They get on your Facebook or your social pages and they say things, and it's just after a while, man, it's kind of like, I've had enough. But that is one scream. Rule of thumb, people. Anybody out there that's watching that I'm not sure could be lurking in the chat, maybe trying to pick up a few things, little tips or whatever. Uh, General rule of thumb is do not draw the lines through your teeth. It makes them look fake and look stiff, and like maybe they're made out of wood. So you don't draw the lines all the way through your teeth. You indicate the shape of the teeth by drawing a partial line. I see so many people that are trying to learn to draw, and they do this number. They'll draw the lines like that through the teeth, and that's horrible. It's also amateurish. Um, so don't do it. You draw the tops and the bottoms shapes of the teeth, and they should match up. If there was a line there, they should match up. You indicate, you slightly bring the line down and indicate that there is a line there. Because what happens is the human mind, the brain, connects that. It automatically connects that line. Now, the closer you get to the back of the back teeth, once you go back into the mouth area, the back part of your lip, you can draw those closer together. It gives it a sense that it's being shaded out. So how's everybody's day going? Is everybody having a pretty good day? I know Berserk was in school today, so most of his day was spent being, in a classroom. But I think they got a 3-day weekend this weekend, don't you? Don't you, Berserk? How did I know? How did I know what? That you're off on Monday? Oh well, good luck, man, on the 2 days off. Um, I don't want to get, I'm trying not to get too personal here, but Crimson, do you got somebody special in your life that you'll be able to spend your Valentine's Day with, especially now that you've got 2 days off? Brazix, I know you're married. You and Patty are married. Um, do you guys have something special planned for Valentine's Day? Because that is tomorrow. Woohoo! Tomorrow is Lover's Day. Nothing special planned? Let me guess, you guys are having to work or something. That's right, party time. That's the right answer, Braz. It is true, but you know, for some people, they're tomorrow really just serves as a reminder of what you just said. And it's sad to say, but they need, that holiday is just just a reminder of the fact that they have somebody special in their life. They shouldn't need that day, but unfortunately, people tend to forget that type of thing. Yeah, when you get up Monday, you'll just be playing video games because you ain't got school, so you won't be going to school. So it'd be time to be playing video games.
Texas is more than country music. It's music country. There's something for every music lover here, from rock to hip-hop and every style in between. Plan your Texas tour at traveltex.com.
The perfect Valentine's gift will let her know just how you feel. No pressure, right? No worries. At Nordstrom, we'll help you find that perfect something. Fragrance? Got it. Jewelry and lingerie? Got that too. Just stop by your favorite Nordstrom or shop online at nordstrom.com/Valentine.
Now let's back out so we can see what's going on.
Hi folks, this is Sammy from MC Ferro, and you are listening to our brand new album called One Man Army here on Spotify. Stay metal.
You lost her almost once. Since that time, you were enjoying each other as much. That's right. That's what I was saying earlier, man. We only live once. This is it. We have basically one shot at living our lives and getting it right. I mean, there's no restarts. There's no do-overs like in video games. So make the best of every day if you can. I know it's hard sometimes, and there are days where that's just not in the cards, but try to live as many days as you can for the moment. Appreciate what you have, love what you have, and concentrate on taking care of the people that mean the most to you, because you never know. You could yeah, I've got two Crimson, and that's I swear, man, I believe these two kids could probably go pro, and one of them is 11 and the other one is 15, and they've been playing since they could hold bottles in their hands. When we was younger, we pretended to play cowboys and the Indians. You go outside and break branches off of trees and run around and and play. And one guy would have the holster and the cowboy hat, and the other guy was the Indian and stuff. We pretended to be. Now they just hold a controller in their hand and play Red Dead Redemption. It's. But I will say this about mine: I do make mine go outside and play, and I let them play video games. I don't let them just stay in the house all the time. Ain't that right, Berserk? I make you go outside and play, don't I? I make you all get off those video games after a while. I make them do things other than play video games. I make them read books. I make them if they need to, if they don't know the answer to something, I tell them to look it up, Google it, read an encyclopedia. It's probably why there's straight A's and B's students. They got them fast little hands, don't they? It's sad. That's right. Make them get out of the house. Get out of the house for a while. Go get some air. Go jump on the trampoline. Do something. Toss football or something with me. One of the things I like to do is when the weather is nice, I like to go out with them and throw toss football, as long as it's not like super late at night. My youngest one, which is in he's in the chat right now. Berserk is my youngest, and he's 11, and he'll tell you, man, I expose them to a lot of stuff that kids their age don't usually get exposed to. They go to comic conventions with me. They travel with me. I take them places so they can see new things and meet new people, meet new, um, uh, situations that they have to deal with that a lot of kids their age don't really get the opportunity to have to deal with at such an early age. That's right, man. That's right. I'm all about well, I do comics, so I'm all about the reading and writing because my two also like to draw and write. So I know there's a lot of people out there, and I grew up basically with a single parent. Uh, I grew up with basically just my mom raising me, and I had three sisters that were all younger than me, and so I never saw, you know, I really never was raised with what a dad should do. But and they say that you're a product of your raising, and I guess for some people that's true, but I think for some people that's an excuse um, to do things that maybe their parent did to them. Say an abusive home or something like that, or a home of neglect. They were neglected a lot as a child. But I grew up without a role model, like a father figure in my life, and I know what that feels like to not have a dad around when the important questions come up when you're trying to become a man. So I have made sure that I'm always there for mine. Um, that's why I work from home and I do this for a living because I could be out doing something else. So I made sure that this became a career for me so that I could be there for my kids, um, because they're the two most important people in my life. So I try to be there for them whenever they need me and whenever they don't need me. You know, they say you can't be friends with your kids, and I disagree. You can be a parent and you can be a kid or a friend to them. You can be both. There's a time to be one and there's a time to be the other. You have to be a parent when it's a life lesson to be learned and something that they have to be disciplined by, but you can also be a friend just by listening. The first video was inspiring. Why, thank you, Crimson. I forgot I had that video up there. Um, Thanks, man. You kind of caught me by surprise with that. I was like, a YouTube video? I forgot I had one up there. I need to put more. Yes, it is. I agree. I agree with you, Crimson. I've had people tell me that you can't do both. And you know what? Don't tell me what I can and can't do. That's a mistake for one thing, because you'll be surprised what I'm capable of doing. And second of all, whoever said that must have been stupid to begin with when they said it. Oh wow, man, you tried to tough it through the whole thing. Wow, dude, I appreciate that, because that is a long time to be watching, especially something that was past recorded. But yeah, it's the same thing. Kind of back what I was saying. Don't tell me you can't be a parent and be a friend to your children, because you can. Just because somebody doesn't know how to balance both and how to be one when it's appropriate, be the other when it's appropriate, that's not my fault. I mean, that's on you if you can't figure that out. But don't, just because you can't figure it out, don't tell other people that you can't be both, because that's a crock. Oh, you worked for 12 hours and you needed to pass the time. That's right. You're in the other room, watching the show, supporting the show. Appreciate it too, Berserk. It's kind of like this, Crimson. I was once told that uh, I was once told, hey, you know, the newspaper business is not for you. You need to find another career. Okay. Now they told me this, and here I was. I graduated from high school as the top graphic designer in the school. So I had pretty good credentials going in. Um, so I go in and I take this job, and I'm helping this newspaper out, right? And I'm doing some really cool modern designs, which they weren't used to, because it's a newspaper business, and it's unfortunately ran by people that should have retired 40 years ago. And so I get called into the office, and I'm told, hey, we're gonna have to let you go. You're just, it's you don't really have a future in this business. Your designs are a little too extreme. Um, this is a newspaper business. Um, you're more suited for probably something else. So we're gonna have to let you go. And I said, okay, that's fine. So what ends up happening, because this is how I do things. Don't tell me, like I said, don't tell me what I can and cannot do. So what I ended up doing was, the town that I'm living in now, I got a job working at the newspaper here in the community I'm living in now, for the one purpose. The one purpose was to make that guy eat his words. So I did. What I did was, I come out here, I took this job, I worked out here for several years at this local newspaper, and just to add insult to injury, I entered all of the graphic design contests for the newspapers for the state and the region. And for 5 straight years, I took first place in every category that I entered for graphic design, which uh, was the designing of the newspaper, the designing of the magazines, the designing of the special sections area, things like that. And I beat his paper out. They were used to winning first place against the paper that I went to. So not only did they let me go, I ended up working for the competitor and ended up beating their newspaper for 5 straight years. And when I went to collect my awards, the first year that I won it, he's sitting at a table and he says, Wow, I might have made a mistake. I said, yes, you did. See this trophy? See this plaque? It's going on my wall. And guess what? I'm going to beat you again next year just to show you that it's not a fluke. So then I won it 4 more years. He retired. So never tell somebody that they can't do something. That's the motto here. The other thing was when I was, really trying to get work in the comic book business, I was told, yeah, you're really good. You can draw comic books, but man, your women are horrible. You can't draw women very well. So until you learn how to draw women, you're probably never going to find a career in this. Fast forward to several years, and now everybody that wants women drawn or wants a strong female lead character, guess who they call? This guy. The same person that back then was told that I couldn't draw women to save my life. Now everybody calls me up and says, hey man, we need some sexy woman for our cover, we need this and that. So if it's a female character that needs to be done, they come to me. Like I said, don't tell anybody in this world that they can't do something, because we all are fully capable of doing things, um, and even surprising ourselves sometimes. But yeah, I'm not the person that you want to tell I can't do something, because I will make you eat your words. That's right. Speaking of drawing women well, I have Jason, the red hair, in the chat room, guys. Another good artist. I was just looking at a piece he did. It's good to have you, Jason. Yep, that's definitely karma, man. That's karma. Just don't tell people what it's you're wrong. Anybody that tells another person you can't do this, you're never going to make nothing in yourself doing that, man. First of all, you're already in the wrong by telling them that, because people can do amazing things in their life, especially if it's something they really want to do. So don't go around telling, just because you don't like what they're doing doesn't mean they're not capable of doing it. Sometimes when it comes back to bite you in the butt like it did there, because I'm the type of person that I'm going to make sure it bites you in the butt. That's right. That's right, Crimson. It's all um, drawing is just it's just a matter of knowing shapes. You know, once you get the shapes down, man, it's just it's just filling in the details after that. I'll give you an example. Let me stroll out here, or back out here.
At Nordstrom, we'll help you find that perfect something. Fragrance? Got it. Jewelry and lingerie? Got that.
You get their boobs uneven.
Nordstrom, or shop online at nordstrom.com/valentine.
It's time to do our taxes.
All right, let's say for example, there's a lot of people that like say they have a hard time drawing like basic shapes of things. Now I'm just going to start sketching here and see how long it takes for you to figure out what this is supposed to end up. Now this is just what I call loose sketching. It's to loosen up your hand and to get you drawing.
Just another laugh till it hurts kind of day on a Carnival cruise.
And I bet that I don't have to go too much further than this before you can kind of already tell what that's going to be.
It's all included in your fare. Visit carnival.com.
Exactly. See? And I mean, that's just loose sketching. You back out, and you can kind of see it, you know? It's just, it's just knowing shapes. See? That's it. And if you do it loose and sketchy like that, instead of trying to be all tight, like I've been doing this a long time, so I can do it this way that I'm doing it on the page without the sketchy thing. But I still, like before I even started streaming tonight, I was drawing over on another piece of paper, like that right there, just sketching loosely and getting my hand loose, kind of like a kind of like warming up before a basketball game or a football game or anything else. You're out there tossing, shooting a few rounds or whatever, and kind of loosening up and stretching. You do a little bit of stretching before you play because you don't want to cramp up. It's the same thing with art, man. It 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 it, it loosens up everything and it gets your brain working too, because by doing it this way, you start spotting lines. You start seeing the lines, and filtering out the lines that don't belong and spotting the lines that do belong. So it's kind of tricking your brain. A horned mule. Oh, we're doing this. Jason's trying to do the, hey, look at the clouds. I see Jesus. Well, I don't see Jesus. See, Jesus is right there. Oh, wow. I thought that was Pandora. It's just an exercise that you can do, and it will help. It will help teach you how to draw better. And that's what a lot of comic book artists and stuff, they do that. They might not share that with people, but they do that. And there is a problem with this eye, and it is bugging me to death because it is, her eyes are a little more like that. Yeah. Like I said, anytime you guys have any questions about how I'm drawing something or how to draw something else, just let me know, and I will, either show you the basic shapes of it or kind of show you how I approach it, and maybe it'll help you, you know, um, help you out too. Yes, he did. He drew Isaac, and he drew it on my tablet, and he's learning to draw digital artwork as well. Berserk. So he's coming a long way. Kid can draw really well to be 11 years old. It'll only take an hour with an eraser. That's right. The benefits of digital. I know she's not here, I wish she was here, but I really hope that she shows up tonight because I really want to give Icy Rain, aka Tiny, a huge, 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 huge shout out because she is absolutely amazing. Um, she has brought a lot of people from her channel to my channel, and I just want to thank her in person on stream. So if you guys happen to see her pop in, and if she's lurking, just let me know because I really want to thank her for all she's done and continues to do for me. Um, she's even went out of her way and added a command on her channel uh, that gives that links people to my channel, and I can't thank her enough for things like that. Okay, buddy, enjoy whatever you're having. Hopefully it's pizza or hamburgers or something good. I just had manwich earlier, leftover manwich. Yeah, I'll show them. Give me a second because I have to go find it because it's not. It's it's been a while since you've done that, so it's moved down on the list of something's bugging me here. Give me a second, and I'll see if I can find it and pull it up on the screen. You guys can see his version of Isaac. Digital artwork. This is reminding you of the 70s style. It probably will until I get all the details in there, because right now it's just it has nothing in it. It's just my blacks right now, and that's pretty much how they left it back in the day. I think you spelled it wrong too, so I'm going to see if I can find it. I think you spelled it with one S. Let me see if I can find it. This one might not be yours. This one might be Ashley's. As it says Ashley's. Did you draw one too and she drew one? Is that what it was? Yep, that's Ashley's. Okay, I don't know where it's at. I think you spelled it with two A's. found it. Like I said, I thought you spelled it wrong. That's why I couldn't find it. There you go. Now, keep in mind, he was drawing this in a program he had never used before. And he's learning not only the program but how the tools work. And this is what he came up with. One of his first digital drawings. He's even got the little flies. Why, thank you, Jason. Appreciate it. And as I do more, it'll get better. It's a little rough right now, but ahoy, Brenda. Ahoy. You've been lurking? Hey, you can lurk anytime you want. I tend to do that with you, too. I'll be lurking in your streams like some Twitch stalker or something, peeping in your streaming window. Alright, let's zoom in here. We're good. You're breathing hard and under the covers of shadows. That's quite all right. Breathe away, sister, breathe away. Sometimes a line just doesn't seem to work. You have a hoodie on, it's because it's cold outside. Of course I'm going to encourage it. Stalk away, stalk away. Breathe away, breathe away. Stalkers are welcome here. Oh, what are you playing? Plants vs. Zombies again? I gotta make sure these blacks are not one way bigger than the other one. See, you get that from me, bud. Always, you always say you can do better. But every time you draw, you get a little bit better, including me. I mean, everybody does. So the more you draw, the better you get. Dying Light, how is that game? Honestly, are you enjoying it? Is it as good as everybody seems to say it is? Because so far, everybody that I've heard that's playing it, they seem to really enjoy that game. Alright, let's tilt her eyes because her eyes are not straight across. She actually has a slant. It is fun. I really enjoyed playing that game. I just can't get anybody to ever play it with me because everybody will play it for a couple of rounds and then they quit. And then they go back to, like, you know, Advanced Warfare or, you know, Destiny or, you know, Grand Theft Auto 5, another other big games. Um, so I get to play for a little bit, and then everybody just kind of bails on me, and then what's the fun after that? Because I like playing with my friends, and if they're not going to play the game, then I just quit playing it too. You beat the game in 2 days? Is it that short of a game, or is it just you played it that long? Like you played it like, you know, 8 or 10 hours both days or something? Or is it just 8 hours long? Or worse, 4 hours like Call of Duty? At least the story, the campaign part. Now you play it on. Ooh, Carrie keeps emailing me. Uh, you play on. Is it PC or X? Wait a minute. No. PS4 too. You know what? Instead of me trying to guess, what platforms do you play on? Because I know Tiny's on PS4, or she used to be on PS4. So, and I'm pretty sure you've played with her. So I'm just guessing you have a PS4. We played it a lot. No, we pitched 35 hours. Okay, I can handle that. I'm about tired of some of these games just being, beating them in 3 or 4 hours. The campaign parts anyway. I want a little bit of a campaign. At least keep me busy for a couple of days, not one day. They don't all have to be Skyrims and Dragon Ages, but they do need to be longer than 4 or 5 hours if they're going to have a campaign. Otherwise, don't even bother having a campaign as far as I'm concerned. If you can't get it in, if you can't put a campaign any longer than that, just make it a full online only game like Evolve and um, see what else was yeah, like Evolve. That's the most recent one. Defiance. Defiance was an online only game. I thought. Okay, I thought it was a PS4. I just didn't want to assume it, but I was pretty sure that it was because I know you play with Tiny. I miss playing with her. I haven't been able to be on much. I really enjoyed playing with her. She's a lot of fun. Okay, we gotta. Not exactly. See, here's the thing, guys. In this story, she's waking up from. You can berserk. Matter of fact, if you want to stream you drawing tomorrow, I will let you. You can come in here and I will fire this up for you, and I will teach you how to run XSplit and set your stream up, and you can draw. Because we got to make sure you put it in the right category on Twitch, or you'll get in trouble. You have to be in the creative section. So anyways, what I'm saying is she just woke up from being basically crucified and left on a tree to die. And I'm not sure exactly, because it's not worded yet, I'm not sure exactly how long it's been that she's been unconscious. So it could have been a day, it could be weeks for all I know. I don't have the actual finished script yet. All I have is the description. So I know where I drew her in the first few pages, she has a gash on her one cheek, and her other eye is extremely swollen. So I'm indicating that here, that it's still somewhat swollen and she still has this gash. But I think I'm going to put, and this is in a fantasy setting, so they didn't have the best doctors in the world. So we're going to stitch her up a little bit here. And see Alright, so actually we don't need that because it's under the skin, so we're going to create the illusion that this is puffing up the skin. Where it's poked into her flesh. So we're just going to like indicate that there's some punctures here. And there we go. Stitches. Possibly too many. I'm thinking it is. But I'll come back to that later. Yeah, Jason, I tried the bamboo, and it's really hard to draw here, and the artwork is up on a monitor somewhere. What time? Well, since I'm not really doing. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day, so uh, I'm gonna be doing something nice for your mama. So my my baby's mama. So my baby mama. So I'll probably let you get on here pretty early. Because I'm going to have to be romantic tomorrow. It is required of me. If I value breathing air, I've got to take time out tomorrow to be romantic, so I better do it. Or I will pay. Bamboo is great for touching up your work. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a use for it, but the problem that I have with touch pads like that is there's this feeling of a disconnect because you're not looking at what you're drawing. What you're drawing is not under your hand. It's on a monitor. It's on a monitor. So wherever your monitor is at is where your artwork is actually showing up, and you're just drawing on a. So you're either doing one or two things. You're either looking at the bamboo tablet and trying to draw on that to kind of keep an eye on where your hand is, or you're drawing here and looking off at a monitor, so you're not even looking where your hand is. So there's that. I always felt like there's a disconnect because you're not really seeing what you're drawing. You're either looking at the monitor to see what your artwork is looking like, or you're looking at a tablet that has no monitor on it, and you can't see what you're drawing because it is app, it's on. So there's this disconnect. It's like a barrier in the sense that you're not seeing what you're drawing as you're drawing it unless you're looking away. And I never did like that. Now there's people that have trained themselves to do it, but like you said, there's a huge learning curve for that, And even at that, you still don't feel, you still feel that detachment. You may be able to do it, but there's still that sense of detachment, like you're not really doing it, because it's I don't know. I guess it's because you're doing something here and it's appearing over there, and it doesn't feel like you're really doing it. Even when you get used to it, it's still that sense of detachment. So are you, Brenda? Did you? I'm sorry if I read it and I missed it, or I talked about it and then I'm just forgotten already. But did you say you were streaming later tonight? There we go. I got it finally. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, like I said, it's a tool. Um, I have nothing against it because, I mean, if you're willing to put the time in and learn to use it, you can turn it into definitely a valuable tool. It's as valuable a tool as, I guess, as any. But that's what a lot of people, believe it or not, Jason. There's a lot of artists that don't, that just doesn't want to accept it, or they don't realize it. But if you're an artist, a true artist, then no matter what you're using, all it is a tool. It is something that you use to produce artwork. It's for artists. I think it's silly when artists try to debate traditional artwork versus digital artwork, because to me it's the same thing as arguing over which one is better, an Xbox or a PlayStation. They both are consoles. They both play video games. There are good games on both consoles, and both consoles play good, decent enough graphics that you shouldn't be arguing over it. They're so close. It's a pointless argument. It's the same argument as traditional artists saying that digital art is not really art. Why is it not? It's a tool. It's no different than using a paintbrush and paint and a canvas. Um, it's intimidating for a lot of artists because it's digital, and it's different, and they've never used it before. But it's still only a tool. It doesn't make you a better artist or less of an artist. It's a tool. It is just one way of producing artwork. There are many ways of producing artwork: pencil and paper, paintbrush and pen, uh, watercolor. It goes on, clay. I mean, it goes on and on and on. All they are tools. Yeah, it's a hybrid. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Making something your own, creating your own hybrid method of doing things. As long as you get the the art done. This is one of the things I always say. It's all about the art. It should never be about the tools. It's about the art. And that's the same thing with me about video gaming. It should be about the games and not the consoles they're played on. I don't care what console you're playing it on. I don't care if you think you're the PC master race. You're having fun. That's all that matters. It's about the games, not the consoles or the PC. I could care less what the delivery system is. I'm not. That's not. I don't get impressed by that stuff. I don't. I'm. It's it's kind of like people throwing a fit about printed books versus you know these writers that are going digital and they're offering their books on for digital download rather than print. Does that make Stephen King a better writer? I don't know how many Stephen King fans there are in the chat right now, but regardless of whether it's printed in a book or whether it's on digital download, Stephen King still wrote the material. Who cares whether it's printed or whether it's digital? It doesn't make him a better writer or a less talented writer. It's just a delivery mechanism. It's just a way of reading what he's written. And that's the same way I feel about, like I said, about consoles and PCs. I don't care what they're on. You can brag about yours being better all you want to. As long as I'm having fun playing the game, I'm about the game, not the delivery mechanism. It's technology. I don't care. If I'm not having fun playing it, it could have the greatest graphics. I could have Kaz's supercomputer, but if I'm not having fun playing the game, what's the point? So what? I've got a great computer. Woohoo! But if the game sucks, the game sucks. It should never be about the delivery systems. It should be about the final product. And games are artwork to me. So I'm more about games than I am consoles. And I'm more about artwork than I am what material you're using to do it. If it's cool, it's cool. And I've seen you produce some cool artwork. Yeah, me too. I absolutely love Stephen King. Love Stephen King. The man is... This is just my opinion. And somebody will probably tell me I'm stupid. But I honestly think that there's no better writer that has come out in probably the last, 100 years than Stephen King. Because the man has just this unreal ability to write. He has a gift with word. And I mean, there are a lot of great writers out there, don't get me wrong. But Stephen King is just something special.
Which means it's time to get a refund.
And I like George R.R. Martin. He's one of my favorites too, but I don't think he's as good
Just enter the card's number on your
as Stephen King. He's great. He's a great writer too, but Stephen King is just like a master.
Get your money fast. Start strong, save big at tax.
That's right. It's all about the game and how you play it.
Healthcare.gov allowed me to be able to continue on with my life.
Join the millions making their lives better.
That's the way I see it. It should never be about the consoles, and it should never, although that seems to be the big argument these days.
With Healthcare.gov, I have options to specialists, primary care physicians, and dental.
I personally don't see the point in arguing if somebody thinks their PlayStation 4 is better than an Xbox One, or if they think their Xbox One is better than a PlayStation 4, or then all of a sudden the PC guys chime in, oh, PC master race. And right now you don't have much because you have problems scanning 11 by 17. I would suggest getting on eBay, Jason, and buying a used, not a brand new one, but buy a used. You might be able to find a brand new one now. 11 by 17 scanner. Look for Mustech, the Mustech brand. That's what I have sitting over here, is a Mustech. And they're fairly cheap. And the $40 or $50 that you might spend on one is worth is worth it, because you eliminate all that hassle that you're having now. So to me, it's worth spending that little bit of money. A video game is more expensive than buying an 11 by 17 scanner. Yeah, get a Mustang, man. That's what I have, and they're cheap, and you know, like I said, you'll spend more money on a video game than you will 11x17 scanner if you get the right one. You don't need a fancy one. You just need one that scans. Now, you just need one that scans. It doesn't have to be one of those all-in-one purpose scanners. You just need one that will scan 11x17. Yeah, and listen, guys, I just want to say this. I know there's probably not that many people in here, which is it's cool. But those of you that are in here, hey, listen, I don't have problems like a lot of streamers because this is not a gaming channel right now. I mean, I will be streaming gameplay on here from time to time, but mostly this is what I do, um, and this is what I spend most of my hours in a day doing. So gaming for me is a treat. It's how I reward myself. Um, if I don't get stuff done like I want, I don't game. So I even punish myself. But anytime you guys want to show artwork or things like that, feel free to post it, man. If I have to like set it to where you can, I will. I'm not going to be upset if you guys are sharing links and sharing. That doesn't bother me one bit because it's all about the artwork. So if you guys have cool artwork, you want to share it with other people, that's great. I don't get my panties all in a knot over it. Oh, don't be doing that in my stream. I don't care if you do it. This is not gameplay. This is not. I'm not competing against other gamers or anything like that. So this is a little unique. This is a little different. This is an artwork being streamed at the moment. So come on, quit messing around. There we go. That might drive Braz a little insane because she's modding the channel. Might keep her on her toes about the link stuff. All I ask though is that we don't spam the links. Make sure it's not like everybody just posting 1,000 links at one time because that would get a little crazy. That's right. That's right. It's all about learning. It's all about learning, and the only way we're going to learn as artists is if we share our techniques with each other. It's just that simple. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of a story. I've got this friend. We're just sitting here and passing some time, but I got this friend, right? And his big thing is, I don't want to show my stuff. I don't want to show because I'm afraid somebody's going to steal it. Yeah, I mean, if it's Braz, I know you're just like probably the, mod of the year. Um, but as long as it is appropriate to our stream, this stream, that's cool. If people start taking advantage of that, and I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about, they start posting porn or, links to nudity or things that, because this is an all-age channel. So, you know, as long as it's respectful and tasteful and it's not abused, I have absolutely no problem with somebody sharing their artwork or sharing an artist that they love, things like that. It needs to be tasteful, and it needs to be professional and appropriate. Otherwise, I'm gonna have, you know, we'll have to take whatever action we'll need to stop that. But like I said, I've got my 11-year-old in here, and he watches so he can learn. And I've got other kids that have come in this stream too that they don't need to be. That doesn't need to be. Um, they don't need to be exposed to certain things. Just if you know, as a parent, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. You wouldn't want your kids being exposed to it. I don't want this channel being used for that purpose either. But it is the way it is, isn't it, Braz? You give people, something like that, and some people come along and they just abuse it. It just always happens, doesn't it? Always seems to happen. You try to do the right thing, and people, the initial group that's there are always the cool ones, and they don't seem to abuse it. But then you get that one person that comes in that doesn't even follow your channel or anything, and then they just abuse it. Always seems to be that way. It's the way of life, isn't it? One person ruins it for thousands. That's right. Happens all the time. But like Crimson's cool. Dr. Eno, Edo, he's cool. Psycho's cool. He likes to show his artwork too. All those guys are cool. Icy Rain, aka Tiny, she's cool. Braz, you're cool. Sid and them, of course. My brother. Kaz, my other brother. But hey, Kaz, Braz, if it gets to be much or something, let me know. Because I don't want that to be like something, out of control. That kind of defeats the purpose. But see, nobody's abusing it, so it shouldn't be an issue for a while. I don't have that many people to worry about, so. My nose is itching. What does that mean? Isn't there a meaning for that? Didn't they say if your nose is itching? I know if your hands are itching, it's supposed to be you're coming up on money or something. What is it if your nose itches? Don't say, oh, it just means your nose is itching. I beat you to it, Jason, because I know that's what you're going to do. Oh, it just means your nose is itching, or you got a dirty nose, or something. It's going to be something like that. I will let you know. Okay, thank you. Like I said, I won't let people abuse it either, so I'm not going to just dump it all on you. Oh, is that what it means? If your nose is itching, it means you're in love? Or does that mean somebody's in love with you? Or maybe it means you have a lurking stalker that has a secret crush or something. I don't know why I thought that was funny, but I did. Oh, you're in love with someone? Hmm. I'm in love with you, honey, and I don't even know your name. Dun, 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 dun. So what'd you have for lunch or dinner or whatever it is, Crimson? Was it good? You wanted to keep it a secret that you have a secret crush? Oh, I think Kaz already knows you have a crush. I'm thinking you meant that for you meant that on about Kaz, right? That Fookin' Fooker. I'm worried about the big guy. He hasn't talked to me much today, um, which is really rare for him. He usually talks to me 8-10 hours a day. Oh, I see how you worded. I see what you did there. You will crush him. You don't have a crush, but you would crush him. That's funny. Good play on words. Hardee's grilled chicken. Oh my god, that sounds good. Ooh, I might have to get one of those. I think Hardee's is open late. Maybe I shouldn't have asked because now that made me hungry. It's all right. I can hold. I can maintain. And by the way, thank you, Braz, for being here again today. I don't know what I would do if you weren't here. It's much easier to just concentrate on this when you're here.
Listen to today's biggest hits from artists like Fallout Boy, Maroon
just like animals. I'll hunt you down and eat you alive. I'm gonna bang bang all over you. What? Thank you, Braz. I need to get. I need to get with Sid. I don't know how to get that his bot. I guess it's because he has to do it. I think, but I don't know how to get his bot to post in the chat, uh, like to check out their channels and to check out the Save Point show. And I really would love to be able to get that in here and get that automated. I don't know how to do it with because his bot, he has his bot in here. The Sayoko bot, that's one that Sid made, and I think he controls. Speaking of that, I bet that's him right there. Hang on, I just got a Skype. Yep, that's him. I was getting worried about him. Here comes the Fukin Fuker. Man, I'm glad he finally messaged me back. Ever since he's lost his iguana. Hey, it's okay, buddy. You just give me an idea for dinner. Um, I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about that, Brass. Um, Kaz may be joining me in a Skype call, which means you guys will be able to hear his voice in stream. Kaz is cool, man. Kind of worried about the guy. Said he's a pet lover, and oh, you guys were in here yesterday, and he still hasn't found his iguana, and it's upsetting him pretty bad. He does love his pets. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to learn how to use all of those programs. You lose your constipation when you're hungry. I do too if I get like really, really, really hungry. Um, But luckily for me, Crimson, is that the thinking process for this page is pretty much over. I'm all I'm doing now is just adding details. I mean, I still have to think about it a little bit, but I'm not actually. I don't have to. I'm not concentrating on what I want now, so that's behind me. So I can go a little bit longer and not have to worry about that. But if I, you know, if I'm hungry and I'm trying to lay out a page, trying to figure out what I want to go on the page, yeah, I lose my constipation too. So Braz, don't you follow? I know you do. Don't you follow my youngest? I think you follow both of my kids' channels, don't you? Both my boys. Oh, I thought you did. I thought I made you mods in their channels. That's right. Yeah, it was, man. That's why I was laughing because it's like another great quote. You guys had me laughing at her yesterday with all the great movie lines and quotes and TV shows. And it was awesome. I had a great time. Well, not yesterday, but the day before. Man, I had such a good time hanging out with you guys. Well, I thought he was going to be calling me. I don't know if he's calling me or if he's just going to join the stream. Guess I'll know here in a minute. There he is. I didn't know if you were going to call or if you were going to just join in the chat. Well, but welcome, Kaz. How are you doing, buddy? I've been worried about you all freaking day, man. I was just talking about you earlier to Braz about, I was kind of concerned about, how you're feeling. Okay. That's fine. You know me, man. I'm down. Kind of miss talking to you today, buddy, but I didn't want to bother you. You know what I mean? I didn't want to. You got stuff going on. I didn't want to be hassling you. Figured you'd reach out to me when you were ready to reach out. I know, man. I know it's hard. Like I said, I didn't want to. I was trying to give you, some time, some space. I figured when you were ready to talk, you'd hit me up. But I didn't want to be the one person bugging y'all every few minutes. You just filed for a bunch of jobs with your finger. Which finger would that be? Would that be the middle finger?